and ending fear. To learn facts at bafound.org. That's bafound.org.
I just feel like something's missing.
I know. What we had was so big.
And warm and bright.
And yellow.
Oh, I really miss the sun.
No sun? No problem. Centrum, the most trusted multivitamins, now have more of the vitamin D3 you need. Get the vitamin D you could be missing this winter with Centrum multivitamins, now our highest level of D3 ever. Check Sunday's newspaper for a coupon.
Hi, Pat Matthews again. I want to talk to you about selling online. And when I say selling, I'm talking about your home, your car, and even buying a house or a new set of wheels. There's a new kid in town, and that's buysellmakeoffer.com. The revolution has already begun, and I invite you to be a part of it. You see, get in on the ground floor because buysellmakeoffer.com never charges item fees. Can you imagine what the other guys might charge you for selling a car on their site, let alone a house? Well, buysellmakeoffer.com doesn't do that. And you can use Skype and YouTube videos to sell your products, big or small. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com and set up your account. For as little as $7.95 per month, you can sell up to 50 items, and they'll give you the first 30 days free just to try it out. Remember, no per item fees. Join the revolution today. Buysellmakeoffer.com. And tell them Pat Matthews sent you.
Good afternoon. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live, local, national, and international news here on Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Hillary Clinton says Benghazi is only an issue because Republicans want it to be. In a CNN presidential candidates forum in Iowa last night, Clinton noted that there have been a series of congressional investigations of the 2012 terrorist attack on a U.S. compound in Libya. 4 Americans were killed. And Bruce Springsteen is offering a free MP3 live recording to make up for his concert cancellation at Madison Square Garden. Lisa G. reports.
The Boss's show was canceled Sunday night because of the blizzard. The freebie is a live recording of the song Take It Easy. The rocker sang the song at his show in Chicago on January 19th as a tribute to Glenn Frey. The song will only be free for 2 days and will go on sale this Wednesday. The link to the song is on Springsteen's Facebook page. A rescheduled date for Sunday's show has not yet been announced. Lisa G., New York.
And today is the last day for the free download. Again, it goes on sale tomorrow. And here at home, a multi-task force in San Bernardino County is cracking down on human trafficking. Over the weekend, deputies made 6 arrests, 4 for violation of prostitution and 2 for violation of supervising prostitution. Sheriff's Department says many of the perpetrators of sexual trafficking violations are actually being forced into the lifestyle and are, in fact, victims. Inland Empire weather, we are a victim of a nice day. High 74 under a sunny and breezy sky, and overnight lows dropping down to about 43 degrees. Tomorrow, some variable cloudiness, and we're going to be warming up as the week wears on, then cooling back down starting on Friday, high of 77, Saturday 72, and then by Sunday, Monday, chance of rain back in the forecast. Currently, we're at 67 degrees here in San Bernardino, and checking out your drive there. There is road construction going on the 60 eastbound through Moreno Valley at Jackrabbit Trail, and that is due to Caltrans work, and they're going to be working there till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Traffic, though, is slammed from Gilman Springs Road. And then also through Riverside, the 91 eastbound between Van Buren Boulevard and Auto Center Drive is shut down, just the right lane there. And that is, again, due to Caltrans working in that vicinity until 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's the very latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind. Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
Days when the rains came down in the hollow.
Celebrate the success.
Thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. Open phones this hour as we talk about your life and your money. It's a free call. The phone number is 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. It's free, and some say the advice is worth what you pay for it. Joe's with us in Columbia, South Carolina. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure, man.
All right. We've been through the baby steps, and right now we're trying to get our house paid off.
Good.
We've got probably a good, say, $1,000 extra a month that we can either throw towards the house or just sit on until kind of find out what the economy is going to do. What would you recommend?
What the economy is going to do?
I don't know, man. It's just so unstable right now, and till we get rid of this current leadership, somebody else steps in, it's going to get a lot better, or either we're in the tank. So,
yeah. And how much do you owe on your home?
About $120.
Good for you. And what's your household income?
About $85.
Oh, excellent. And you're putting 15% of your income away for retirement in baby step 4.
Right.
And do you have children?
We got one.
Kids' college is being saved too.
That's right.
Good. And above that, you got $1,000 to throw at your house.
Right.
And how much is in your emergency fund? 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, we got about $10,000.
Okay. If you want to beef that up a little bit and get it to a full 6 months of expenses,
okay.
You're a little bit lower. You're probably on the 3-month side, or maybe even below that. I'd probably get that on up. I mean, if you had $20,000 in there, I'd probably feel better.
Well, I've got an extra probably 15 I'm sitting on right now, in addition to that 10 that I could throw towards the house or either put in the.
Okay. Well, let's just. I would allocate that then to the emergency fund. Put them together and say, okay, I've got a $25,000 emergency fund, and then I would start. All I'm saying is you're a little worried about things, so we're going to have a healthy emergency fund. That's all we're saying. Is we're beefing up baby step 3 before we go on to baby step 6 is all because of your concern. I'm not going overboard, but I mean you're going to have 6 or 7 months worth there is what that's going to amount to, and so you're fine then. And then I'm going to start throwing the entire $1,000 at the house.
And you would put it on the house rather than sit on it until say the end of the year and then apply it.
Yes, I would. I'm not worried personally about now to the end of the year with a guy that's got $25,000 in the bank, and he's making $85,000, and he has no debt except his house. Dude, you're killing it. You're really doing good. And and the other thing you might do is just turn off the television.
That's my biggest problem right there.
Yeah,
man.
You're getting a steady diet of negative news. Yeah, that's exactly right. My friend Zig Ziglar used to say, reads the Bible every morning, read the newspaper so you can tell what both sides are doing.
All right, Dave, look here. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Be good, man. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Josh is in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Josh. How are you?
Doing fine. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
Yeah, I've got a small HVAC business, and I'm wondering how I should advertise that. What would be the best way?
Okay. I'm not a big fan of starting with paid advertising. There's a place you can go depending on how much you want to spend. I mean, I've got several HVAC guys that advertise with us on radio stations around. That does pretty well. But that would be my second choice after I was doing everything I could do on the free side as well. And so the first thing I'd do is make sure you have a real good database of your current customers and past customers, and that you're regularly checking with them to see what their needs are. Do they need a tune-up? Do they need to have everything checked before summer gets here, that kind of a thing? And make sure you got that system. And then also that you're asking them to refer you to their friends. and neighbors.
Okay.
And that's all free. That's just sweat. That's just you bothering to tap the shoulder of the customer and saying, hey, help me out here. So, did I do a good job? Is there anything else I need to do to take care of you? Were we reasonably priced? Are you happy with our service? Good, thank you. Would you please refer us to your friends and leave some business cards with them? And just a simple thing like that, you'll be amazed at how many times that works.
Right.
And I'm probably going to mess with social media a little bit. Twitter, it's free. Some Facebook stuff is free. Just building a Facebook account and letting people know you're there. Make sure you have a good, strong website. I'm going to put money in that. And then with HVAC in that space, radio does work. And we've got lots of proof of that, not only talk radio with the Dave Ramsey Show, but certainly other radio as well. And I've got heating and air companies out of our, in probably 50 or 60 cities that use my voice. But then in addition to that, they buy all over the stations and everything else. So I know it's working because there's a lot of people in your business that do that. The good news about radio is you can very precisely target it towards a certain income. The type of format is going to target at a certain income. And certainly in your local market, you're buying your local city. There in Louisville, you've got some great, classic, wonderful radio stations. I've been on several of them. I'm on one now. And some of the sister stations to what I'm on. And you can buy across a whole group of stations and get things very precisely targeted. But again, you've got to make that ROI. And the big thing is then to see when the phone rings where the phone call came from. Did it come from referrals from friends of customers, or what did it come from the radio? And if it came from the radio, which station were they listening to? So you know which ads you're buying that are working and which ones are actually activating the customer and causing your phone to ring. And, of course, there you're going to want to run some kind of a special to get the phone to ring and connect back with the customer. With a small business, I do not recommend, very seldom do I recommend you do advertising, broadcast advertising that's for branding, meaning you're just throwing your name out there, throwing your name out there, throwing your name out there. Instead, I would look for a direct response, meaning when that ad runs, I want the phone to ring. I want to advertise a specific thing that causes the phone to ring. And maybe it's, a certain service you offer that you can put on special or something like that gets the guy in his car, to go there. Also, they need to be able to go to an easy-to-find URL website. The name of the website needs to be very easy to type in, because oftentimes people are using a smartphone to do that these days, and they're thumb typing. So you can't ask them to spell, 73 characters, long company name and that kind of thing. Keep it very clean, very simple, very easy to find website. And then when they get there to the website, again, source your leads. Where did you hear about us? Where did you hear about us? Where did you hear about us? Because you always want to measure the results of on the money you've spent so that you can see if the money is spent well. And very few small businesses do that and do it well. If you'll measure, you can always tell what's working and buy more of what's working and what's not working and quit buying that, whatever type of advertising you're doing. So, hey, man, thanks for calling in. Hold on, I'm going to give you a copy of the book Entree Leadership, which is how we run our business. Hopefully that'll help you with yours. This is The Dave Ramsey Show.
Kcaa invites you to join Dr. Donald Gabriel Jolly for What's It All About? He's never without words.
I have an opinion about everything.
He talks about everything.
You can say, I love you, and be fired by the power of the crotch instead of the real meaning of love. You have an illness. It is called terminal acute hornitis.
Join Dr. Jolly for What's It All About? 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon on Kcaa 1050 AM.
I'm Joy, and I do the afternoon show at Way FM Radio.
That is Stephen Curtis Chapman on Way FM. We're Carlos and Joy. Well, just Joy today. Carlos is gone.
And I heard about Dave Ramsey right after college because I was in a whole bunch of debt. I went to one of those private Christian colleges, and I was dead set on going, even though I couldn't pay for it. So I came out with a whole lot of loans to pay off, and unfortunately, Christian radio doesn't pay tons of money. So I decided that I wanted my life to look different. And as I started asking people questions like, how do you budget? How do you make it when your income isn't quite enough? What do you do? And all of my friends pointed me towards Financial Peace University. And one of my first coworkers at Way FM had an amazing experience with Financial Peace University. So he said, you got to get in this class. I found one at my church, and as I started working through it, I was learning the basic skills of how to handle finances for the very first time. It was new, it was difficult. Learning about it really helped me to get into a place where now I can't believe 3 years later that I'm going to be debt-free, that I get to do this debt-free screen.
KCAA, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM are San Bernardino strong.
In AgNet West today, Monsanto files a lawsuit against California's Prop 65. More after this.
Tell weeds where to go with Chateau herbicide from Valent USA Corporation. Growers and PCAs count on Chateau because it's effective on more than 90 of the toughest winter annual broadleaf and grass weeds in crops like almonds, pistachios, walnuts, grapes, and alfalfa. Chateau delivers proven long-lasting residual control, and Chateau can be used on new plantings and young non-bearing trees and vines. Even better, Chateau is weather-ready and farm-ready. Chateau stays where you put it and doesn't photodegrade as it waits for moisture activation. Other pre-emergence herbicides can leach, co-distillate, and or photodegrade, reducing performance. And Chateau is activated with only a 1/4 inch of rainfall or irrigation water. Take control and keep control of weeds with Chateau herbicide. To learn more, talk to your PCA or go to valent.com/Chateau. And while you're there, find out how Asana XL insecticide protects trees from dormant peach twig borer. Always read and follow label instructions.
Monsanto has filed a lawsuit against California's Proposition 65. It's taking legal action to prevent what the company calls a flawed listing of the herbicide glyphosate under California's Proposition 65. Prop 65 requires the state to maintain a list of chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer. It's the signs we see put up everywhere. The listing of glyphosate, according to Monsanto, would be flawed and baseless because glyphosate does not cause cancer, as determined by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the European Food Safety Authority, and pesticide regulators around the world. Monsanto claims the listing would violate the California and U.S. constitutions because the state would be ceding the basis of its regulatory authority to an unelected and non-transparent foreign body that's not under the oversight or control of any federal or state government entity. Monsanto filed the suit against the California Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment in Fresno's Superior Court. I'm Sabrina Hill for AgNetWest.com.
We supply the words. You paint the picture. KCAA.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you're here. Open phones this hour at 888-825-5225. You know, we did a lot of really exciting things last year here at Ramsey Solutions. One of those things was our own Chris Brown, one of our Ramsey personalities, Pastor Chris Brown. We launched a new Christian radio show last June. Chris Brown's True Stewardship. It's 30 minutes every day, and it's broadcast on 20 radio stations. If you want to find the radio station near you that you can listen to it, just go to stewardship.com, and you're looking for Chris Brown's True Stewardship. You can also subscribe, of course, on iTunes to the podcast, and we're almost at 3 million downloads, and it only launched in June. This is amazingly successful. So, and the reason is Chris is really good on the air. He's got that pastor's heart, and of course he's talking about God's ways of handling money, what the Bible says about money. He's doing a Christian radio show, and it's a 30-minute everyday show, so it's a very digestible podcast. A lot of people have 30 minutes in their commute, and they can pop Chris Brown on there, and they do. And a lot of you take this show as a podcast. We're honored to serve you any way we can serve you. But just check it out. This is an incredible show. Stewardship.com, Chris Brown's True Stewardship. If you want to call in on his show, you can do that. The number is 866-357-3283. Carissa is with us in Nashville. Hi, Carissa. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I had recently started my own business, and I'm in the process of establishing a retirement account. And I cannot decide between doing a SEP IRA or a Roth IRA.
I would do a Roth IRA first.
A Roth first, yeah, because I was going to say I'm in a low taxable income right now. But later on,
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding you. Can you speak more directly into your phone?
Yes. So
Okay.
you just said a Roth IRA first instead of doing a SEP first?
Yes, ma'am. And the reason is it grows tax-free, and there are no requirements regarding employee matching or anything on that.
Yes, sir.
So I would start with that, but I would do I would do a traditional Roth. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how old are you guys?
We're 36.
Okay. You can do $5,500 each per year, or $11,000 per year. If you want to do more than that, the SEP is fine. It's a tax-deferred traditional IRA. It's going to grow tax-deferred. And if your business grows to the point that you have employees, and you have employees that have been with you more than 3 of the last 5 years, and at that there will be a point if your business grows that you'll reach that, then you're going to have to put the same percentage of their income into their SEP as you put into yours. So if you put 10% of your money into your SEP, then you'd have to put 10% of employees that have been with you more than 3 of the last 5 years. But probably if you're just starting, it's probably just you right now, right?
Yes, it is currently.
Yeah. But do you need to do more than $11,000 into a IRA this year?
No, because of my husband, we pretty much almost maxed out his. So,
okay.
No, I do not think so.
Yeah, I'd do a couple of Roth IRAs as a starter. And again, then the SEP's fine. I did a SEP when I first started this. But the tax-free growth of the Roth and the flexibility of the Roth with no requirements on it, for employees or anything is where I would start. And then if you're going to go along and you're just going to have to monitor because it gets really expensive to have a SEP with long-term employees. You're probably going to want to shift from that to what's called a simple IRA at that point, which you can do in addition to your Roth. And the simple IRA is a 401k for small businesses is what it is. And you can set that up and run it. It only runs about $20 a year, which in terms of fees and stuff, it's very inexpensive. And you match your employees 3%, up to 3% of their income that they put in on the simple. But the simple is the next step after the SEP, once you've gotten employees that have been with you a while. So that's how I would stage it. Roths first and continue with those. Then if you want to do a SEP until you've got employees that have been with you a while, then I would gravitate from the SEP to the simple. And then eventually, if you get big enough, you'll have to gravitate out of the simple. It's required into a traditional 401k, which is where we are today. But that costs thousands of dollars a year to audit and to manage. And so you don't want to do the 401k until you have to. The traditional 401k. So, good question. And, Carissa, if you need help with any of that, just see one of our endorsed local providers. You can click on ELP at DaveRamsey.com. That's someone we recommend. They don't work for us, but we recommend them for investments because they do investing the way we do it, and they mainly do that with the heart of a teacher so that you're learning what you're doing. Troy is in San Francisco. Hi, Troy. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So 7 years ago, I got turned on to your system, and at that point, I was, over $70,000 in credit card debt and didn't really have a clue what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went out and got 3 jobs and just started working like crazy. And 7 years later, I have a corporation. I have over 40 employees.
Wow.
And we just purchased our second commercial property in downtown San Jose. So
great.
Have $5 million in commercial property and did buy a nice $1 million house in the Bay Area, which is basically a small tract home.
Mm-hmm.
But my mind is still the nervousness about money and spending. So I'm wondering at what point, I've already do the full max on retirement. I've already do the 10% to my church. But at what point are you able to enjoy your hard work? Mm-hmm. I still drive my 200,000-mile car, and I don't like spending money on non-necessities right now.
Now, what's your household income, sir?
I I make a little under $400.
Okay. Well, you're choosing to not enjoy money as a choice. It's not a mathematical fact. You make a ton of money. You're killing it. You've gotten yourself cleaned up. You're funding your 401k. You've got your emergency fund in place. I don't hear anything as a danger sign here. You make $400k. Go buy yourself a freaking car, man. Take your wife on a cruise.
Yeah, well, my wife has the nice $70,000 car, but for me, I can't spend money on myself.
Okay, let me ask you this. How much money are you giving? What's your generosity look like?
Well, through my business and personal, I give about $500,000 a year.
Okay, so the $400,000 is after that occurs. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, we did about $10 million this year. So we did $400,000.
How personally engaged are you in the things that you're giving to? Are you just writing a check and stepping back, or you got your hands on it?
No, I have my hands in giving and funding schools in South America and stuff.
Okay. All right. Because usually when your generosity kicks up, it kind of gives you permission to enjoy the money. That's why I was suggesting that. But it sounds like that hasn't worked.
Yeah, so, I mean, we do. Trust me, it's been a blessing, but I just know that as easy as it.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's walk through some math for a second. You're giving away $500,000. You're making $400,000. Do you think whether you drive a $20,000 or $50,000 car or a $3,000 car actually matters in this math?
No,
it doesn't. It's irrelevant. So you're really not accomplishing anything by this. It's not like you're being conservative so that you're safe. Dude, you got other stuff that's going to take you down long before a car price takes you down, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so those commercial buildings, as an example, would have been something to be more concerned about. But, I mean, you're doing great.
It was when we pulled the trigger. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, you buy a $5 million building, but you can't buy a $40,000 car. So, I mean, this is just mental for you. It really is. It's okay. It's okay. But I just want to give you permission to enjoy it. A percentage of your money should be given. A percentage of your money should be invested. And a percentage of your money should be enjoyed. That's healthy, good financial management. You're not proving anything by driving a junk car, especially at your stage, dude. You're doing so well. Congratulations. You're a great American success story, man. You're a hero. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
Here's the latest. I'm Doug Parrish. Quite the scare today at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego after someone reported hearing shots being fired at the medical campus. That prompted some evacuations, though at this point a Navy spokesman says there's no evidence that shots were fired.
All the appropriate actions have been taken. But again, we're still very early in the process. It will take us quite some time still to finish clearing the building and be absolutely certain of the condition.
That's the hospital's commanding officer, Captain Kurt Jones. Well, the leading Republican and the two Democratic presidential candidates are pounding the campaign trail today in Iowa. Donald Trump has been holding events in the Hawkeye State ahead of next week's caucuses. Hillary Clinton had 3 different campaign events scheduled, and Bernie Sanders met with a United Steelworkers local office in Des Moines. And officials are reporting at least 46 deaths from that massive winter storm that hit the Northeast over the weekend. Fatalities were reported across 12 states and the District of Columbia. You're listening to the latest from 24/7 News. A Maryland woman was rescued after spending 3 days in her parked car that was buried by snow. It happened near Accokeek, Maryland, which was hit hard by the weekend storm.
It was located on a side street that hadn't been plowed, so the Humvee was able to get to the vehicle, and the soldiers were able to get her out.
The Maryland National Guard is getting credit for finding the woman who had been trapped since Friday. Air travel is still being affected after the weekend's historic snowstorm. A number of airlines say they're now expanding staff at airports and at call centers. Some airlines say they'll add flights or put bigger planes into service to clear the backlog of delayed travelers. But when it comes to kicking the habit those smoke cessation pills don't work any better than nicotine patches or lozenges. That's according to researchers at the University of Wisconsin, who say the widely available nicotine patch is just as effective as more expensive drugs like Chantix, but with fewer side effects. I'm Doug Parrish.
Join me, Stephanie Miller, every weekday for the antidote to cantankerous conservatives. And if they don't like it, too bad. It's on KCAA.
From 4 till 5, Monday through Friday afternoon.
KCAA, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
Hi, it's Dave Collins in Snow Country. Isn't it great in the middle of the winter when you can head to a mountain and find out that almost every single trail that you want to ski and ride down is open for your pleasure, plus terrain parks with jumps and jibs and some stashes of fresh powder left over? That's what you'll find at almost any mountain within our listening area. Snow Summit right now with over 2 dozen trails as they ski at 100% and 12 lifts to take you to the top of the mountain. June with 20 inches of snowfall over the past week, so definitely some stashes of fresh powder left over for you there. They've got 35 runs, 100% of their terrain is open for you. China Peak skiing at 100% on packed powder and fresh powder. Also Sugar Bowl with 2 feet of snowfall in the past week. They're up to almost 100 trails. Sunrise Park in Arizona skiing at 100%. That's packed powder on 65 runs, over 40 trails at Arizona Snow Bowl. Up north, Mount Bachelor picked up 1.5 feet of snowfall over the past week. They've got 88 trails for you to ski and ride down. There's more at snowcountry.com. I'm Dave Collins on KCAA 1050 AM and the all-new 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
Out and about in Western agriculture, growers can take a few simple steps to help law enforcement if they ever experience shipping thefts like fictitious pickups. More after this.
Your nut and stone fruit trees have worked hard for you all season long, and now they're ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy a little downtime. Don't let peach twig borer ruin that rest. Asana XL insecticide, now available from Valent USA Corporation, protects your trees from peach twig borer during dormancy and delayed dormancy, preparing them for the next season. Asana is formulated with a unique cottonseed oil that's rain-fast and has excellent UV stability, even under intense sunlight. That means Asana lasts longer for outstanding extended control, rain or shine. Give your trees the break they deserve from peach twig borer with a dormant or delayed dormant application of Asana. To learn more, talk to your PCA or go to valent.com/Asana. And while you're there, find out how Retain Plant Growth Regulator helps with fruit and nut set during cherry and walnut bloom. Asana XL is a restricted use pesticide. Always read and follow label instructions.
Thieves are hacking online information to steal crop shipments from growers. Butte County Sheriff's Detective Matt Calkin says video is always good. However, a simple request from the driver could help an investigation significantly.
Yes, a thumbprint is huge for us because we can absolutely identify somebody from that if they've ever used a thumbprint to get a driver's license, if they've used a thumbprint, if they've been thumbprinted, if they've ever been arrested before. Their thumbprints will be on file anywhere in the United States. Driver's license can be forged fairly easily. People can put stolen plates on trucks. And while the video or photos can help tie incidents together and possibly ID the subject, they work best when in conjunction with a thumbprint that we can absolutely tie to a person.
Calkin says a normal driver should have no problem with that request. I'm Taylor Hillman for AgnetWest.com.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Tom Ladd. For this afternoon, it'll be sunny. Expect a high near 70 and northeast wind at 5, becoming northwest in the afternoon. Clear tonight with a low around 44. It'll be sunny Wednesday and a high near 72. Cloudy Wednesday night with a low near 48. Thursday's outlook, sunny and a high near 76. Clear Thursday night with a low near 49. And for Friday, sunny and a high near 77. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM and 1050 AM. The stations that leave no listener behind.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Tyler and Caitlin are with us. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Dave.
Welcome. Where are you guys from?
We're from Tyler, Texas.
Well, fun. Welcome to Nashville. We appreciate you making the trip all the way over here to do your debt-free scream.
Absolutely.
How much have you paid off?
We paid off $60,000 in 22 months.
Way to go. Making what kind of money?
We started at around 33, and we're now at 75.
Okay, so in 2 years, how do you double your income?
We started with one single income.
Oh, okay.
And then worked our way up to both of us actually working.
So she put you to work, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We
She
did
was
a lot
actually
of
the
different
first one.
things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of jobs. We had like 11 different jobs.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Within a year.
What do you do now?
So I work two jobs still. So I work at a Christian camp in East Texas, and I work as a licensed professional counselor intern.
Ah, cool. Okay. And what about you, Caitlin?
I work at a place called the Mentoring Alliance. I basically get to facilitate relationships between kids and families in the community to provide tangible help and eternal hope.
Very good. Wow. Good mission statement.
Right?
Well done. Good, good. So what kind of debt was the $60,000?
It was all my student loans.
That would be Tyler.
That's
okay.
correct.
So student loan debt.
Yes, all
cool.
of it.
Very cool. What's your degree in?
Counseling. Yeah,
Okay.
I have a master's in counseling.
That's the internship. Okay.
Yes,
Good
that's
for you.
correct.
Yeah, so that you can get, I assume, licensed by the state of Texas after the internship?
That's the hope. That's the hope.
Okay.
Still working and grinding them out.
Yeah, very good. Cool.
Yeah.
So what happened 22 months ago that starts your story?
Just before that, we got married, and I picked up a book by a guy named Dave Ramsey for a couple $2 at a thrift store.
There you go.
And I read it and decided that it was time to stop living like I could spend whatever money I wanted, and started living on a budget. And then we started doing that shortly thereafter when we got married. And that was really the kicker. The marriage piece was like, oh gosh, I should figure this out. I'm not by myself anymore.
It's a whole growing up thing that happens there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Caitlin, he's reading a book from a thrift store from a crazy guy, and you're dating this guy, and he starts saying all this. What did you say?
You know, when we were dating and engaged, Tyler, I mean, he's a free spirit, but he's very calculated. He kind of had the attitude of, Caitlin, your parents taught you how to handle money. You can do that. You just take care of it. But when we got engaged and he got that book, and I think he probably sat down, I remember him going over an amortization chart and seeing how long debt was going to take to pay off. And
Welcome to Callie's
once
best.
he read the book and drank the Kool-Aid, he has been the most intense, gazelle-like person I have ever met. So I am, pretty disciplined and standard in that, but he's been the one to say, no, we're doing this. We are in it to win it, and we are not quitting until we're done.
Cool. So you, being a disciplined person and and coming from a family that handled money well and that kind of thing, you were not unhappy to see this change in your fiance.
Oh, this was huge. This was the answer to prayer was really great. It made it easy for me to be able to follow. Like when he took the lead and took responsibility for that, he was so active in then saying, here's what we're going to do. We're doing it together. So I didn't feel like I, had to jump on board, but that's been a huge thing in our marriage, even learning we are a team and we get to do this together.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
So what is what do you tell people the secret is? They hear you paid off $60,000 in debt in less than 2 years. That's impressive. And they say, how did you do that?
Tyler says you say yes to free things, but on top of that,
we said no to really good things a lot.
Yeah.
And the secret sauce behind that was having a plan, being able to sit down together and go, how are we going to tell our money what to do this month? How are we going to even game plan for the whole year annually? What do we want to do? And live on a written budget, live below our means, and really plan for the future. And that's now.
Yeah. So a master's in counseling, you're going to spend your life and are already spending your life showing other folks how to modify their behavior.
That's correct.
And you modeled that beautifully here. How much of your education, the things you had learned becoming a counselor, did you end up applying to this process?
Quite a bit, actually. Being able to set goals and make them smart goals, that they're achievable, that they're not just these vague things that I hope to do, but rather they're in writing, and actually be able to track when I get there. And I do that a lot with my clients, and be able to help them see, oh, we actually got here, and be able to celebrate that win and not just move past it, whether it be, let's have a Coke when we would normally take water, those small victories, or grabbing a Frosty when we would normally not. So being able to celebrate along the way was huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would add to that the whole process of paying off debt for us, I think, was just, it's horrible and I hated it and we're so glad it's gone. But the fact that we are now debt free is a gift, not only that we have that financial freedom to give away now, but the whole process of getting to where we are absolutely was what I needed in order to learn how to communicate with him. So, it did way more for our marriage. If finance is one of the big things that you fight about, we fought about how to communicate about finances, but we knew that there was a plan and we were following it. So I really think that was a tool that was used in my life to learn how to express what I need and what I feel, and it was just counselor over here.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yeah. Well said. Well done, you guys. Excellent. What was the biggest fight you had during the 22 months?
Oh gosh, I don't remember what it was about, but I do remember we were on the side of the road, pulled over because I was crying so much. He got out of the car, pulled off an icicle from a street sign, and put it under my eyelids so that they weren't so swollen and red. I'll tell you that much. It was ridiculous. And we laughed. Do you remember that? That was crazy. And, who knows what it was even about, but everything can get so tense when you're, battling this weight that's on you. And, yeah.
So, Mr. Icicle, what was it about?
I wish I could remember.
You're lying.
I'll take responsibility for whatever it was.
Whatever it was my fault.
He didn't make me cry. I promise. I'm an emotional being. It wasn't your fault.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool. And your mom and dad are with you, so obviously they're proud.
Yes.
So you had some cheerleaders in your corner.
Yeah.
Both sets of parents, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. They were all in our corner, cheering us along the way, and now even just to celebrate with a trip to Nashville and seeing a little Billy Gibbons tonight, hopefully.
Yeah. Billy's up here. Okay.
He is up at the wine
wherever he is.
Is he really?
He is. Him and his beard.
Yeah. Well, he's a good guy. He's a Texas guy, so what's he? He comes up here occasionally and plays, so good stuff. All right, well, fun. Good for you guys. All right, Tyler and Caitlin from Tyler, Texas. $60,000 paid off. 22 months. Making 33, now making 75. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Love it. Well done, you two. Great job. Yeah, icicles might win the award for the week. That one's classic right there. That's good stuff. That's fun. Oh, you guys are great. Open phones this hour as we talk about your life and your money. It is a free call, 888-825-5225. Audrey is on Twitter. I have a mortgage payment due the first of each month. Well, that wouldn't be shocking. If I want to pay an extra payment each month, then when should I do it? You should do it with your regular payment. Some people have an online thing where principal added online is very easy. It's a separate line item in the form that you're filling out, so that you don't want to prepay payments, you want to prepay principal. If you don't have that, or you don't have that on a payment book, a physical payment book, then you do want to write a separate check and put in big bold letters highlighted in the 4-column, principal only, and make it an odd amount close to your payment amount, but that is not exactly your payment amount. That way they won't screw it up when they're keying it in, hopefully. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Larry Burnett here to remind you that if you haven't been listening to Open Season on KCAA, then you haven't heard Jerry West, Vin Scully, Goldberg, Tommy John, Nancy Lieberman, Sam Bam Cunningham, Jim Lampley, or Todd Marinovich. Hey, if you love sports, join Mark Mancini, Fred Wallen, and me as we tackle the issues, swing for the fences, and make sports fun again. Open Season, Thursday afternoons at 3:05 p.m., right here on KCAA, AM and FM.
That's KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-643-6931 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-643-6931 to take your call now. Call 1-800-643-6931. That's 1-800-643-6931. Again, 1-800-643-6931.
Loma Linda University Children's Hospital is excited to announce the 23rd Annual Foundation Gala, presented by Hard Rock Hotel, Palm Springs, Thursday, February 11th at the Riverside Convention Center. Join us as we illuminate the path to Vision 2020 with an inspirational evening that includes live and silent auctions, dinner, and entertainment. The Loma Linda University Children's Hospital provides the highest level of care to over 160,000 children in our community each year. This care would not be possible without supporters like you. As the only dedicated children's hospital in the region, we're asking you to join us as we shine a light on the future and build a new children's hospital tower. Now is our opportunity to illuminate hope and healing for children. For more information or sponsorship opportunities, go to lomalindagala.org. lomalindagala.org or call 1-800-825-KIDS. Again, go to lomalindagala.org or call 1-800-825-KIDS.
KCAA.
Blinds.com. The experience of finding and installing new window treatments is as relaxing as a beautiful view when you deal with Blinds.com. Go there, use the code Ramsey. You get one free blind for every 3 you buy. That's called a deal. That's Blinds.com. Today's question is from Mary in California. I have a Mercedes that is underwater. I just received a company car, so I no longer need the Mercedes. Tried to sell it for what I owe, but no luck. How do I get rid of a car that I'm upside down on? Well, you would have to finance the difference. If you have it financed with Mercedes, then they're not going to do that. If you have the loan with your local bank, you would talk to your local bank or credit union about signing a note for whatever the car doesn't bring and working out that deal and selling it. So if you sell the car for, I don't know what model Mercedes it is, but you sell it for $30,000 and you owe $37,000 on it, then you would have a note for $7,000. And that's good because you're limiting the damage to your finances by getting the car sold. If you do not have the current car loan with a bank or credit union and it's with a finance company, a car finance company, then you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to go to your bank or credit union and borrow the difference in an unsecured loan in order to sell the car. So you get a buyer for $30,000 in our example. You get a loan from your credit union for $7,000. The buyer gives you the $30,000. You give the buyer the car and the keys and a bill of sale. You send the $7,000 that you got from the credit union with the $30,000 you got from the buyer to the car company or whoever holds the note. They then send you the title, and you transfer the title when it comes back. It takes 4 or 5 weeks usually for that to happen in most cases. But that's a normal transaction in most states. It may be a little different than that in California, but the bottom line, regardless of which state you're in, is that you will have to cover the difference in some manner. You'll have to borrow the difference or sign a note for the difference in some manner in order to get the title to give to the buyer. Because you got to get the title. The car has to be paid off to get the title, obviously. Alyssa is with us in Des Moines, Iowa. Hi, Alyssa. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, this is a financial as well as an ethical question. My mom passed away 4 years ago, and I am trying to figure out if I should finance, if she left me the house 100%, but she said right before she passed away, she wanted me, if I ever go to sell the house, to give them each $15,000. Mm-hmm. And I am trying to figure out if I should finance that because they would like their money now, if I should finance it or if I should just continue to try and save up.
I'm sorry, that wasn't the deal. They don't get their money now unless you're selling the house.
Right.
That's what your mother said. She said if you ever go to sell the house, you should give them $15,000 out of the sale, right?
Right.
So why did they get the idea they should get it if you're not selling the house?
Because they say it's not fair.
Well, I don't care what's fair. Fair is the thing we have at the county where they sell cotton candy. Your mother gave her very distinct wishes to you. She, left you the house and verbally, not in writing, asked you to honor her last wishes, which was to give someone $15,000 each out of the sale of the house should you ever sell the house, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And so if it's not fair, they need to take it up with your mom.
Okay.
Because this was her wishes.
All right. It's kind of to do with that. I know I'm supposed to keep this brief, but I got divorced 4 years ago, and I had $28,000 worth of debt. I'm down to $5,000. I've gotten 2 part-time jobs I have also through the summer. I mean, I should be able to save up and also pay them off just to keep financial peace, correct? I mean, how long do you think
Why would you pay them off?
Because they're really upset with me.
They're not upset with you. They're upset with your mother. This is her deal.
You know what? That's true. That is very true.
You did not do this. They're the ones changing the deal. And you're duty bound to honor your mother's wishes.
Yes. And those were her wishes.
Yeah, she did not say, for you to go borrow money to pay off, to buy out your brother and sister. Right?
Yes, that is true.
I mean, were they involved in the conversation with your mom?
No, they didn't have anything to do with her for 2.5 years before she passed away.
Oh, well, see, there's always that, isn't there?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And so now these guys are entitled to her money, who they had nothing to do with. So your mom was very clear. And really, she just, at the last minute, had a little bit of compassion on these kids who had dissed her.
Well, they came around about the last 5 weeks, and so then that's when she had said that.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Okay, all right, well, thank you
what I would do is this. This is your full brother and sister, half brother and sister, what?
Full brother and sister.
Okay. I would just sit down with them and you're not married, you're single. And,
I'm single.
Just smile and say, I love you guys. This was Mom's directions. I'm going to abide by Mom's directions. When I sell the house, you will get $15,000. If I never sell it, you never will.
Okay, I just didn't know with the ethical parts of it and how you thought.
Well, listen, here's the ethics. Here's the ethics. This is not about what they want. This is not about what you want. The ethics are following your mother's instructions of what she wanted done with her estate. They are completely out of line. I'm kind of mad at them right now just listening to this.
Okay.
Misbehaving on a regular basis is these two's pattern.
Yeah, it's caused a lot of family turmoil, and they don't have a lot to do with me anymore. So.
Well, they didn't have anything to do with your mother.
I guess that's a good point, too.
You know? And,
Right.
you know, darling, if you have to buy a relationship, that's called prostitution.
I never thought of it that way, but yes, that is very true.
You know, and so if the only way you're going to have anything to do with me is me giving you money, then we don't have a relationship. I'm just your ATM, access to money that you think somehow you're entitled to, but you're not entitled to anything. Mom had the money. Mom said what to do with the money. So, now, all of that said, if you go make $2 million and you want to write these two goobs a check, but let me just tell you, they're never going to be okay. They're never going to be okay because they didn't get their third of the house because of the way they treated your mother.
That's true.
And so they're always going to have a chip on their shoulder because this whole deal, every time they look at you, they are reminded of their misbehavior with their mother. And so it's always going to be tension in the air unless somebody has a spiritual healing in this process. So I think it's going to be really healthy exercise for you to set reasonable boundaries to these two bullies.
Okay.
And then if you decide to have mercy later, it's coming from you having strength, not you being pushed around. Because I really sense in this conversation they're doing a lot of pushing around.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
No, you're completely right. Thank you so much.
So I'm kind of using my voice like stern, like growly right now to insert strength into your backbone. Are you feeling that?
I sure am.
All right. And I want you to read a book called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Because
I will definitely do that.
Yeah,
Thank
your
you so
brother
much.
and sister have inappropriate boundaries. Hold on, I'll have Kelly pick up. I'll give you a copy of it because this is exactly what's going on here. Thank you for the call. Folks, that illustrates right there why you not only have a will, but you also have a reading of the will while you're alive. You tell people, you know, you haven't anything to do with me for the last 2.5 years. So when Alyssa sells the house, but not until, I've asked her to give you $15,000, but until that happens, you have no rights, you have no entitlement because you haven't been here. Thank you for coming back into my life in the last 2 weeks before I die, but this is what you get. And you have a reading of the will, and if someone's going to be angry, we need to go ahead and handle that while you're alive. You people get your wills and tell your family what the will says. This is not a movie where a will is read in a walnut-paneled office by an attorney and the trophy wife is standing there with a dysfunctional son. This is not a movie. You cover your estate plan with your family while you're alive. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path that's right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that is a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training